When you see the term sutta in Pali Nikaya, normally it refers to a discourse, one out of 9 types. The problem is, when you look at the 4 great references, it's on page 18, these talk about anyone who makes a claim that this is the Dhamma, this is the Vinaya, this is the teaching of the Master. So this person who made the claim could have said that I heard it myself in the Buddha's presence. Or he could have said, I heard it from a Sangha. Or he could have said, I heard it from a group of elders, very knowledgeable, learned elders. Or he could have said, I heard it from a very knowledgeable and learned monk. Yes, these 4 scenarios. Whichever scenario it is, the Buddha advised that we should not simply accept what is being said or reject what is being said, but one should listen carefully and try to see whether it is in a sutta or in a Vinaya. Right? So when the word sutta is used here, it cannot mean just one out of the 9 types, right? But this is the only place in the Pali Nikaya where sutta is used in that way. In other places, when the reference is to discourses rather than the Vinaya, the word that is used, the term that is used is suttanta, not sutta. Okay? So now, what we are trying to find out is what this term sutta means in the context of these 4 great references. So now we have this term, Sutta and Vinaya. You see on the top, first row. And on the left, when you see this column text, it means that different texts interpret the term Sutta and Vinaya in different ways. Now, according to the Vinaya Pitaka, the basket of discipline, where the monastic rules and regulations are recorded, are compiled, when you see the word Sutta in the Vinaya Pitaka, it means the Patimokkha. The Patimokkha is a code of conduct for monks. Many of you would have heard about the 227 rules that the monks are supposed to observe. And that is the Patimokkha. Actually, it's just a list of rules. In fact, there are thousands of other minor rules that are not found in the Patimokkha, found elsewhere in the Vinaya Pitaka. And when you use the word Vinaya, it means the whole Vinaya Pitaka. Now, these terms, Sutta and Vinaya, when they are used in the Vinaya Pitaka, Sutta refers to the Patimokkha, and the term Vinaya refers to the whole Vinaya Pitaka, inclusive of the Patimokkha. Now, when you see the terms Sutta and Vinaya used in the Sutta Pitaka, we see that the word Sutta refers to just one of the 9 types of Dhamma that I pointed out just now. And the term Vinaya refers to the whole of the Vinaya Pitaka. Now, in the Neti Pakarana, which is a late addition to the Pali Canon, it's a late addition to the Pali Canon, but one could consider it as a very early commentary. It is a work that suggests how to interpret the Buddha's teachings. So in this particular text, Neti Pakarana, the term Sutta is interpreted as the 4 Noble Truths. It's not talking about any particular discourse. It's not talking about the whole basket of discourses. It's just talking about the principle of the 4 Noble Truths. It's trying to explain what Sutta means in the context of the 4 great references. Yeah? So in the context of the 4 references, according to this text, Sutta means the 4 Noble Truths. And the term Vinaya means the discipline of lust, hate, and delusion. Actually, the word Vinaya literally means discipline. And usually, it refers to the code of discipline, monastic rules and regulations. Yeah? But Niti Pakarana is looking at it from a more general view. That discipline is not only confined to the discipline for monks and nuns, it is a discipline of lust, hate, and delusion. This again is a principle of the Buddha's teachings, right? The basic principle, the most basic principle of the Buddha's teaching is what? The Four Noble Truths. And the discipline is disciplining lust, hate, and delusion. Yeah? We practice in order to eradicate lobha, dosa, and moha, right? So this is what the Netipakarana feels the two terms Sutta and Vinaya mean in the context of the four great references. Now, the Vinaya commentary also has its take on what the word Sutta means. In the Vinaya commentary, the word Sutta refers to the whole of the Vinaya Pitaka. And so the word Vinaya, it does not even consider the word Vinaya anymore. Because in the Vinaya commentary, the word Sutta refers to the Vinaya Pitaka itself. Now, according to the Sutta commentary, the term Sutta means Sutta Vibhanga. Now, the word Sutta Vibhanga also needs some explanation. Sutta in the term Sutta Vibhanga means the Patimokkha. And the Vibhanga refers to the analysis of the Patimokkha. For example, there's one rule in the Patimokkha for monks which says that should any monk take from the village or from the forest with thieving intention what is not given, that entails a parajika, a defeat. That means this monk is no longer a monk, automatically is no longer a monk. And he cannot become a monk for the rest of his life. So that is the Patimokkha, a rule in the Patimokkha. The Vibhanga, the analysis would analyze this rule and define all its terms. Okay, what does bhikkhu mean? A monk. What does monk mean? Then he says, village. What does the village mean? Forest. What does the forest mean? Take. What is meant by take? With thieving intention. What is meant by with thieving intention? What is not given? What is meant by what is not given? So it is a definition of all the terms. Essentially, it is a legal document, like a law book. It is a law book, where all the terms are defined. So this is Sutta Vibhanga. And in a Sutta commentary, the term Vinaya refers to the Khandaka rules. Khandaka rules are all the other rules that are not in the Patimokkha. Many other rules. For example, going around bald-headed, wearing robes of a certain design and pattern, these are not found in the Patimokkha. These are found in the Khandaka rules, all the minor rules. Then there is another interpretation within the Sutta commentary itself, option 2. Option 2 is that the term Sutta refers to the Ubato Vibhanga. Ubato means both. The analysis of both. Both what? Both Patimokkha's for bhikkhus and for bhikkhunis. The first one is only referring to the Patimokkha for bhikkhus. Right? Ubato means for both bhikkhus and bhikkhunis. And then the term Vinaya refers to the Khandaka and Pariwara. Okay, Pariwara is the last book of the Vinaya Pitaka, and from the summary that is given at the end of certain chapters, we can infer that this book was finalized in Sri Lanka, which means that it's the latest addition to the Vinaya Pitaka. This is like an index, summary of whatever that has been recorded in the Patimokkha, in the Vibhanga, and in the Khandaka rules. And looking at it from various perspectives, various classifications, to give the monk a very thorough understanding of the Vinaya Pitaka. Then the third option, the third interpretation is that the term Sutta, in the context of the four great references, refer to the Sutta Pitaka. And the word Vinaya, or the term Vinaya, refers to the Vinaya Pitaka. And then, as you can see in the discussion, people said, well, if that is so, you only include the Sutta and the Vinaya. How about the Abhidhamma? It's missing. So now, The next option, the next interpretation is that, well, the term sutta refers to the Sutta Pitaka as well as the Abhidhamma Pitaka. And the Vinaya here refers to the Vinaya Pitaka. Still, this is not a satisfactory answer according to the commentaries, so there's another monk by the name of Sudina, a Thera, who proposed another interpretation. You see the word Theravada here. In the commentaries, Theravada refers to the views and opinions of elders during the time when the commentaries were written. What are the commentaries? The commentaries are explanations of what is found in the sutta, which is not clear. There are certain terms in the sutta not clear, then the commentary will try to explain. All right? But then sometimes, even the commentary is not clear, then they will have these theras, these elders who will try to comment on what the commentaries say. Okay, so this is called Theravada, the view and opinion or interpretation of theras. So nowadays, when you use the word Theravada to refer to the form of Buddhism that is practiced by people who look to the Pali Canon as their source, it's not really very correct. It's a misnomer. It's like we are followers of the views and opinions of elders rather than Buddhavada. We are Theravada, not Buddhavada. We follow the views and opinions of the Theras who interpret what the Buddha says, but we don't follow what the Buddha says. So actually, personally, I don't like the word Theravada to refer to the form of Buddhism that is being practiced by those who take the Pali Canon as their source. There is an alternative that is used by the Dalai Lama. He called the three main forms of Buddhism, Pali Buddhism, Chinese Buddhism, and Tibetan Buddhism, based on the language in which their root texts were preserved. It sounds very logical and reasonable, but I'm sure the Japanese and the Koreans will not like it. Although their text is Chinese, but you call them, practitioners of Chinese Buddhism would not be something agreeable. Anyway, so we are still looking for an appropriate way to name or refer to the different forms of Buddhism. But I think Pali Buddhism will be quite appropriate, for us, because the most common thing among this type of Buddhists is the Pali Canon. All the religious services are also done in Pali. Anyway, so this Sudina Thera gave his opinion. He says that the sutta here refers to the whole of the three baskets. And the Vinaya here refers to the means of disciplining lust, hate, and delusion. The means, whereas Niti Pakarana says Vinaya means the discipline of lust, hate, and delusion. Sudina Thera says that it is the means of disciplining lust, hate, and delusion. A subtle difference. Okay, anyway, so that's all.